I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right. I am the ballad in your box, the bullet in the gun, the inner glow that lets you know to call your brother son. The story that just begun, the promise of what's to come. And I'ma remain a soldier till the war is won.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the first pilot episode of Periodic Paragraphs. You've seen me before and you've heard the voice. This is QG or Dr. QG, whatever you like to call the homeboy. This is something different. What we're doing is uniting and bringing all the elements together. These elements bring people together, and that's why we're here. This is a candid look. And this is a pilot episode for everybody out there interested. If we get enough views on this, you'll definitely get some more. I want to shout out the Rap Land Podcast because this is why we're here. Shout out to the Candyman Alpha. Shout out to the Red Barber MC. You see the shirt. You see me repping here pretty hard. Got the cups. We sipping on something very, very strong. And the first guest, my guy, who I go way back with, he is also a member of the Rap Land Podcast. Please introduce yourself to the public.
Well, you know who I be. For anyone from the Rap Lab fans' perspective and everything, y'all know I'm the man, T.O. What's the dealio? So ain't nothing changed. Still the same old kid. Still the same old T.O. Definitely still representing the NY, as y'all can see.
Yeah.
It's all about the damn Yankees.
All about the Yankees.
I ain't happy with that knife fitting though last night though.
Nah,
we gonna work on that.
The knife fitting was pretty hard, man. But all you Mets fans, shut up. This is Yankee town.
They my least worries right now. It's the damn Red Sox. They my most worries right now. They know who they are.
Oh, the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox. Right.
No one cares about the Red Sox.
Nobody cares. All right, but we here.
Yes, sir.
Today, we are here for something very, very special. This is something that you wanted to talk about, T.O., for a long time, and you've come up with a list of the top 10 underrated Brooklyn MCs. First of all, what do you think makes an MC underrated?
I feel like they don't get talked about a lot. You know, when it comes to underrated, I guess commercial success is one of them. That kind of falls under the umbrella of why they're not being talked about and how underrated they are. Or it's a lot of things that come about. But like I said, some people are underrated because it's like, damn, they need to be talked about more. Like, we ain't going to talk about like how the Canes, he's not underrated. We already know he's nice. But there are some people that we're going to name how they're underrated and how it's almost like being overlooked at the same time.
Right. So, with that being said,
yeah,
number one on your list, a rapper from Brooklyn by the name of OC.
Man, this makes me upset because I like OC, especially when I first heard him in the DITC days. For anyone who's not aware of that, that's Digging in the Crates, an old particular rap group that also consists of a rapper who's still alive today, a Fat Joe or Lord Finesse. Diamond D was one of them. I think Buck Wild was another one. And unfortunately, the late Big L, rest in peace.
Yes.
And the first time I heard OC was actually in 95. That's before the DITC era. And this was off the Crooklyn Dodgers thing.
Oh, the legendary Crooklyn Dodgers record.
Yes, it was the legendary Crooklyn Dodgers. That's when we had cats like, and the sad part is the names, I don't even want to mention it because they also on the list today. Because they were on that album as well. But he was on one of the tracks, which was actually known then. I think that was for the, what was that movie? Clockers. It might have been for the
Clockers. It was the Clockers soundtrack, yes.
Shout out to, who was it? Mekhi Phifer, Delroy Lindo, all the actors that were in that movie. So I heard OC and I said, yo, who is this guy? I like this guy because I like his voice, you know. His voice is kind of like, not aggressive, but it's really recognizable.
Right.
I actually went to listen to Word Life a long time ago.
His first album in 1994.
That's 94. Yep. Okay. And it was actually crack to me. I feel like it may have been glossed over, but I thought his album was great. One of my favorite tracks is Point of Views. He, and yes, everybody for who don't know, I'm also a sample man, so that's another thing that got caught up because that's a Roy Ayers, not a Roy Ayers regular song, a Roy Ayers live type sample.
You can check the samples on our social medias on the Rap
Yes,
podcast.
that's
page.
all me.
This is the man behind it.
Yep. Anybody who sees the questions of the samples, that's this man right here.
That's this man. So let's look at this man's resume because you mentioned Word Life that came out in 1994. You have Jewels.
Well, Jewels was actually a decent album.
That's the first time I heard of OC.
Right.
1997.
97. Far From Yours. Who was that lady singing? Yvette Michelle. Correct.
Yes.
Yo, correct me. All right, cool. Yvette Michelle.
Can't Go Wrong.
Dangerous. Can't Go Wrong. Dangerous.
That was good joints right there.
Yes, it was. It was definitely good joints.
And then you got, obviously, running down the list, because we don't want to spend too much time on one MC. You got Bon Appetit, you got Star Child, you got Smoke and Mirrors, you got Oasis, you got Trophies with Apollo Brown, you got Ray's Cafe with Ray West, you got Ray's Cafe The After Hours, which was an EP, you got The Dive-In with Debonair P. This man has work after work after work after work.
And it's that point. To be technically honest, I didn't even know half the albums until I had to resurface him a while back. I'm like, when did he release all them damn albums?
You know what else too? I think that also kind of messed him up was none of these records have certifications as far as sales.
That is
gold,
true, unfortunately.
No platinum. I mean, why do you think OC doesn't get his props, man?
I don't know, man. It's hard to fall under the umbrella of the commercial success. And he never, I feel like going down the line when it comes to his particular catalog, he doesn't look like he could fit, unless, if it was the big heavyweights back then, but the competition was heavy then. So.
Do you think he got lost in the shuffle with the group because of who was in the group? You mentioned Fat Joe, Big L, all these other guys.
Possibly.
Do you think he got lost in the shuffle?
Maybe. Because I feel like the only ones that stood out obviously was actually Fat Joe, if anything, commercial wise.
Yeah, Joe
he actually stood out. Yeah, from Flo Joe to the Jealous Ones, Envy to Don Cartagena and all. But other than that, the rest of the Lord Finesse too. But it's not about him. But Lord Finesse, he kind of tried as well. So, but OC, man, it just hurts me that he doesn't get talked about because he's actually a great MC to me.
OC, you get your flowers. This is why we're here. We're going to give you your props.
That's the phenomenon, OC.
And check our Instagrams, check our social media pages. We may play a couple of songs from OC right after this. You never know, and we might do that for you.
All I want to know, whoever produced Point of Views, I don't know how you get a Roy Ayers live at Ronnie's. Even though the song was Searching, they sampled, but it was the live at Ronnie's one. That's smart. That's good.
No doubt. All right, so second one on the list. This is our guy. And let me tell y'all, man, this dude right here, he's one of the favorites. I call him Allah Zigzag Zig because of the RZA on the song that they did, The Birth, which is on Pieces of a Man.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, we are talking about AC, ladies and gentlemen. Why AC, T.O.?
You know what pisses me off when it comes to him being underrated? I feel like a lot of people don't talk about him unless Nas is in the conversation. I feel like that's why I get at. They don't talk about how he has the solo stuff and the Do or Dies, and yes, he's really affiliated and heavily affiliated with Nas, and then of course the Firm. But it's like, let's just take him outside of that right now. Because
you want to hear something funny?
What?
You know his date of birth?
Nah, I don't really.
March 9th.
Oh.
That's eerie, ain't it?
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. That's kind of scary if you ask me. And people may know what March 9th is. Yeah.
I mean.
Scary date for hip hop, by the way.
I mean, forever in our hearts, another Brooklyn MC. We all know it's the Notorious B.I.G. But to follow along with you, look at how AC came in the game. you know, when you got the Illmatic Classic album, the first song.
When it comes to Life's a Bitch, you know what I felt like? I felt like it was deja vu, like how Nas came on Live at the Barbecue.
Yeah.
Because
it kind of was.
It was like, who the hell is this guy on the first verse? Because, you know, Nas has got an Illmatic album. Obviously, it's one of the best hip-hop albums, if not probably top 5. You know, I love every damn song. I don't care.
For sure.
But when Life's a Bitch came out, it was like, he just came spitting crazy like, yo, who is this guy? And it's like, it's weird that it's on his album because I felt the same way when Nas did it to Main Source on Live at the Barbecue. We all had that problem like, yo, who is this cat on the first verse on Live at the Barbecue? But when it comes to AZ, man, he another one that did his best to put so much hard work. It's just that he another one that had to deal with a lot of heavy competition, especially with his first classic album in 95. Do or Die.
That's right, baby. Do
or Die is a classic album, you know, songs like Sugar Hill, Give Me Yours.
Jackie, Give Me Yours.
Give Me Yours. Oh, Happy Jackie makes me laugh.
That's a funny record right there. And you got what's that other record? You got the classics. Yep. Mo record, Mo Money, Mo Murder, Mo Homicide. Yep. That right there is one of them gems, bro. Like,
and I felt like a lot of people put him too much more in a aura with just Nas instead of like himself. Even though I'm still mad that these two never did a joint album, and I ain't counting the Firm either, by the way.
Yeah, you can't really count the Firm, even though because the Firm is a collection with Foxy, Nature, and you know, shout out to Cormega, who was original in the Firm, and then he, you know, we'll get to that one of these days. But,
yeah, we'll get to that.
But with AZ, you know, because I believe when you look at how he got his record deal, his first album came out on EMI, and I believe it went gold. Like, imagine if it went platinum. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's 1995. There's heavy competition in 1995.
Especially you dealing with LL Cool J's Mr. Smith and Wu-Tang just about.
I mean, you got Big selling 5 million records.
He's still selling from the previous year with Ready to Die. Especially and not to mention when they put on Big Papa, because Big Papa came in late in 94. But at the same time, they still kept playing it in 95. Right. It was difficult.
And then, you know, I mean, we see AZ in the Dead Prez video with Jay-Z.
Yes, he was.
You know, he's making his rounds, you know what I mean? And then Pieces of a Man come out, and I love Pieces of a Man. Pieces of a Man is a good album.
Underrated.
I think that's underrated. It's
underrated album.
Because now he's on a new label. He's on New Tribe Virgin.
He used to go on Mass Appeal.
That would be dope. And again, you know,
he used to go on Mass Appeal. I'm sorry.
He's getting, you know, gold plaques. He's got these standout songs and everything like that. 9 Lives comes out. Which is awesome. But yeah, so
I will admit, I was almost not a fan of AWOL.
We'll get to AWOL, but what do you think went wrong? Like, because after Do or Die and then Pieces of a Man, because Firm was still around, 9 Lives came out, and it didn't really, even though I love the song
Problems, yep.
But he came back with Asiatic. So what do you think went wrong in between that time of the fall off and then the comeback with Asiatic? Then you could get to AWOL. What do you think happened in between that span of 1995 all the way to 2002?
It was the exact buzz coming off of Life's a Bitch. Then he had the whole Do or Die. So Do or Die was a bit of a pressure for a debut album. It almost feels like Raekwon when he did Only Built for Cuban Links, and then it's like the pressure of like, what can you follow after that? Like the mobilarity. For those that know, I mentioned the mobilarity on one of the archived episodes of the Rap Lab Disappointed Albums. Check that out.
It was.
So, not to mention in between, he's dealing with the whole thing with the fiasco of the Firm.
I see what you did there. The fiasco, the Firm fiasco. That's very good. I like that. I told you he was a rapper.
So don't listen to him. Even though I look like one right now on camera, but nah.
Bro, you look like you could be in the Deja Vu video. I
still got beef with that video. They know why. But
Continue.
We ain't gonna go in that. We ain't gonna go in that.
Continue. Go ahead. Get on with AZ. Go ahead.
It was just a lot he had to deal with. And I feel like the pressure of Do or Die and, of course, the cosign for Nas, because that's like where everybody knows he's the biggest cosign from is him, from Nas. And it's real tough. It was, I don't know, it was real tough. Pieces of a Man, I thought was good. Actually, it was a good album. But the problem is, that's another thing. 1998 was another competition.
It was a dope year. A big, big, big year. But Asiatic was kind of like the rebirth because it got nominated for a Grammy. It did very well, like in the streets, like people, and it was on Motown.
Motown, yep.
Of all the labels in the world, it was Motown. And then he started to try to push Quiet Money Records. And then you said you were disappointed in AWOL. Why were you disappointed in AWOL?
The production is okay. The lyrics was okay. I don't know, man. I felt like, I don't know if I felt like the album was a little lazy. But the Format was not a bad album.
Format was good. That came out in 2006.
The Come Up, I fuck it. Yo, that's another thing. Another one, man. Man, he just knows when to give anyone a damn beat. AZ could work good.
AZ and Primo could really work good together. But it's also crazy because when you talk about AZ, I think about the shot that 50 took at him on that song. What if I make BS joints like AZ? I didn't like that, man. I thought that was foul.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. And of all people, that's another thing. Who the hell wants to beef with AZ? AZ is mad chill, man. Come on.
AZ's a cool dude, man.
He's a cool dude, but.
And then after that, you had Undeniable, you had Legendary.
Legendary.
And then recently, you had Do or Die Part 2. How'd you feel about that?
A little different. It was different, but it was the best he did. I ain't gonna say that's the best album. I'm just saying he did the best he can. I thought he came up good with that album. So
I agree with you, 100%.
But other than that, man, I just hate that he don't get talked a lot. But again, like I said, I'm gonna keep reusing this phrase. The commercial success is gonna be part of what happened in a lot of people's careers that don't really get talked about, and they're good.
Right, man. Right, but this is why AZ.
Deserves his flowers.
He's great. He deserves his flowers. He deserves his accolades. He's a wordsmith. He's just one of the coolest, smoothest cats. And when he gets on the record, he gets on the record. So shout out to you, AZ. Along with Zach Zig, for real. And now we get to the third MC. This is somebody from the Gangstar Foundation. This man here. We talking about Jeru the Damaja. Why Jeru the Damaja? Why is he on the list?
I don't know if people don't know where Jeru the Damaja comes from, but Jeru the Damaja is more of the real essence of hip hop. He another one that had to go through another tough competition, 94, where he released his debut album, The Sunrises
in the East. That is a solid debut album. One of the best debuts ever.
And I always thought he could have been a third member of Gangstar.
He could have been, because he was with the Gangstar Foundation. He was with those guys, Big Suge and all the rest of them in the group. And, because they had a group. And then Primo is the producer. And let's talk about it, because, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and all that great stuff, man. When The Sunrises in the East came out, it came out in 1994, like you said, and it was payday. It was payday.
Y'all know what was going through that time, man. Y'all know what was going through that time, from Illmatic to Ready to Die.
You remember the album cover? How eerie the album cover is? You know what the album cover is? You remember?
I just remember it was definitely dark.
It was the Twin Towers.
Towers, yes. That's. Every time I revisit that specific album now, I'm like, damn, did this guy foreshadow what the hell was going to happen? I mean, this ain't to be funny or anything, but this is some real shit. This is some serious shit here, man.
This album is credited as one of the resurgence revivals of the East Coast movement, because at the time, the West Coast
was dominant. Yep.
So you got Wu-Tang with End of the 36 Chambers. You got his joint,
the Cow,
Big L, you got Onyx, you got Smith and Wesson. Everybody is dropping these joints, and Jeru is one of those guys. And when you look at the tracks, I mean, obviously, Brooklyn Took It lets you know what he's representing. I love Mental Stamina with Afu. I thought him and Afu have great chemistry.
Yeah, Afu Ra, he had another one that don't get enough
Afu
credit.
Ra don't get enough. He was rhyming on that. My mind spray, come clean, like dog. Come you hear that?
I'm like, yo, who the hell took a water bucket and all that shit, man? How the hell you make that into a song, man? And don't get me started on Ain't the Devil Happy. Woo!
Woo, gosh. That song,
that's my shit, man.
With negativity, ain't the devil happy. Yo, that was good. How you start off the song with Red Fox, man? I just tell the truth. That's how I see it.
Hey, that's the legendary Red Fox, man. They did their homework.
I mean, like you mentioned with AZ coming out with such a strong, solid debut. Now you get to 1996, and you get the Wrath of Math. What did you think of the Wrath of Math?
Wrath of Math was more deep and serious. This is where I also feel like he was underrated because at that time he was trying to get commercial success, but he's just like what De La Soul was. They weren't happy where hip hop was going at that time, and you can tell in his songs in the second album, he wasn't happy with the state or the status of hip hop at the moment.
Yeah, he targeted commercial rap, and he got that song.
He targeted commercial rap heavy in that album.
That song One Day, where he's talking about Puffy and Suge and Foxy, and this kind of caused the little dissension between him and Big, man. And him and Big said what he said on Kicking the Door, for y'all that don't know. And he, not even on that song, he even got into it with the Fugees.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
you know what? Cowboys.
You know what? He looked like he could be a member of the Fugees the way he looked, but I don't know.
I mean, you ever saw that video where he had that debate with Lauryn Hill about racism?
Yep.
It's on YouTube for people that want to watch it.
And did Pras respond to him? He didn't mention the whole false prophet. Yep.
Him and Pras had a little spits back and forth, which is good for hip hop.
But again, like that was a dark year for him because as great as his second album was, the moment shifted to like the Pops and the Bigs and the J's debut and the Nas. It was written, and even parts of West Coast, the Dogfather and everything. Yeah. So
until this day, Hot 97 likes to play his joint. You're Playing Yourself when they do the little "You're Playing Yourself" segment.
Yes,
they always play "You're Playing Yourself" by Jeru the Damaja. So he's getting some good papes off that.
But
and then you got the other albums. You know, you got Heroes for Hire, Divine Design, Still Rising. All of a sudden, there's now a split between him and Cream. You want to touch that?
I wish I know why, because I always wondered why he split for him and Preem. I mean, why was there a split between these two?
From what I know and what I gather, there was for one, Jeru was kind of upset that Preem produced Kick in the Door. And,
okay. Well, you know what? That makes sense. I see what it's... Yeah.
Because he's like, how I'm your artist. I'm with you.
And you gave a man the beat that's dissing me on that same track.
Me on the record. So it's like, what's up? But it was just a lot of back and forth.
But you can't blame Primo on that because Primo not really getting into the context of who Big is diss. Well, actually, Big did say he was going to diss his man. But that's afterwards. He got the beat.
I mean, and so have you followed up with Jeru's other albums after Wrath of Math, like Heroes for Hire and all that stuff?
Heroes for Hire, I'm going to admit, I didn't get a chance to do Still Rising yet.
Okay.
But Heroes for Hire was actually a good album.
And we recently heard Jeru on the latest Gangstar release that came out. And, you know, it was a compilation of songs that were unreleased. Just to hear Jeru again on a Primo track sounding so polished and so refreshed, it felt good. And it made me want more. Like, let's get some more.
And I like it because he ain't miss a beat. He ain't miss a beat on this.
He sounds too good, man. Yeah, so we definitely going to give Jeru his props.
Definitely.
Jeru the Damaja. Brooklyn still taking it, man.
Brooklyn keep on taking it worldwide. We're making it.
There you go. So now, we're going to shift gears. We're going to go to another MC, well known as the Genius. Talking about a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. We talk about the GZA, the Genius. Why the Genius? Why is GZA on this list?
You know, to me, man, I'm going to admit that he's one of the most lyrical members out of Wu-Tang.
That's a fact.
And it pisses me off that, I feel like in the hip hop era or the hip hop world, we didn't hear much of GZA unless it was Wu-Tang, even after Liquid Swords. And Liquid Swords is one of the most craziest hip hop albums if I ever heard.
And that's not even his first album.
Nope.
A lot of people don't know about that first album in 1991.
Yes, it was 91.
Words from the Genius. People don't remember that GZA was around. He was down with the Juice Crew in the beginning. He was with Cold Chillin'.
Yep, he was. He looked like he could have been a member of Juice Crew. He could fit with Juice Crew, I think.
He could have.
But it was just that the momentum, hanging out with Wu-Tang, it's just like, damn, it's over.
You know, one of your favorite producers produced a lot of songs on that first album, right?
P-Rock.
Your boy Easy Mo B was all over that first album.
Yes. I said P-Rock. I meant Easy Mo B. Easy Mo B been out a long time.
But Easy Mo B produced like practically 90% of that first album.
For everybody who knows, that's another person. We get to another time. He needs his flowers as far as production. Easy Mo B.
Absolutely. But then after that,
just parts of Bad Boy, but definitely he did with GZA in his first album.
And now you get the connection with the Wu because RZA is his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And RZA is just a master behind the boards. He had a whole vision how he wanted the Wu-Tang to be, and his cousin coming in there, the Genius, who was an excellent chess player, which is why you got the title, Liquid Swords and everything like that. It's a reference to chess, crime, and philosophy, because the Genius is a spiritual, deep-thinking dude. So now you get to Liquid Swords, which comes out in 1995, and come on, how many tracks you want to call? Speak on it.
You know the thing about that is, I felt like that got overlooked because we just mentioned AZ, but look what else was coming out, competing with Liquid Swords and Do or Die. I said Mr. Smith. Let's not forget the infamous for Mobb Deep.
That's right. Oh man, that's homegrown right there. That's Queens right there.
So, like I said, a lot of these artists that we're going to talk about, it had to do with competition and the pressure from that competition. Because it's like, what do you do from here? And the messed up part is he has to compete with some of his members against Wu-Tang.
Competition was heavy.
Raekwon.
At the time, Raekwon
Only built
came
for
out
Cuba
with a
Links.
classic. Yeah, you got to think about that. When you
Old Dirty Bastard.
ODB came out. Method Man came out with his
just
record.
A year prior.
So now, let's look at Liquid Swords. You got any favorite songs off there?
The whole album.
Well, to follow along with you, I love Cold World with Inspector Deck.
My God, yo.
Him and Method Man on Shadow Box.
No. That Cold World joint with Inspector Deck is one of
That boy right there. That boy right there. Yo, the way and again, you got Fourth Chamber. Ghostface and Killer Priest and RZA, and then you got obviously, you got Hell's Windstaff, Killer Hills, all that good stuff, man.
Yep.
Like, oh man, like what can't you say about this album? This album is a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. It is hard to skip a song. That's why I said the whole album, because it's hard to skip a song. And I can't even get a favorite, but I will say maybe Cold World. But I can't even get a favorite song because the whole album's just crack.
It's crack. Oh no,
it's butters, man.
Yep. Then you push to his third album, Beneath the Surface.
Beneath the Surface.
In 1999. What did you think of that album? I know one of your favorites is on there. Breaker. You always talk about that.
I like
talk about that album. A lot of people don't talk about that album. They always talk about Liquid Swords, but they don't talk about this album.
You know the thing is, as far as 99 goes, a lot was happening in 99. From and I don't mean from regions. When I say North, East, West, and South, I'm just meant the events of North, East, South, and West. So it's just like what Inspector Deck had to deal with his first album, which a lot of people don't talk about.
They don't.
In 99. And even Raekwon dropped his album, which that's another album I mentioned on the Disappointed Albums episode. We ain't even gonna talk about that Mobility. I'm sorry, but yeah, Beneath the Surface was actually a good album as well. It wasn't bad, and the only reason why I say it was good because sometimes when artists take time, some people are like, all right, you came out in '95. I want something in '96 or '97. Some people need time to, really perfect their craft of what they can follow up. That's why I give Kendrick his props because he's going to take a good long time. J. Cole's going to take a good long time so they could craft of what they really want the listeners to hear. So I gave Beneath the Surface a good, if I was to give it like 5 stars, I gave it a good 3.5 to 4-ish.
Okay, that's fair. And then he pushed forward, came out in 2002 with Legend of the Liquid Swords. Now, it's MCA Universal Records. And I mean, again, when you look at the tracks, you got Silent with Ghostface and Street Life. The Wu Brothers is there. You got Family Members Only with RZA and Master Killer. Yep. He's working. He got Deck on there with Sparring Minds. So, what did you think of this album?
Whew. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was okay.
Guess who produced Legend of the Liquid Sword?
I'm trying to remember who, but
your boy Jazzo.
I'm not surprised because some of the tracks do sound like a damn Jazzo beat.
And then DJ Muggs got in there. Muggs and GZA always work together. So Muggs is on here.
Muggs is everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So much for, but I'm not surprised that the band is part of a group named after a city in Brooklyn.
Shout out to Cypress Hills.
Yeah, be real.
Be real. And then you got Pro Tools, which came out in
2008. Yep.
Yeah. Then he did Grandmasters with DJ Muggs, which is a collaboration album. So, what do you think about him and Muggs working together, putting their minds together, making beats?
It's different because some people, when you come from a formula where it's just RZA, RZA's like the Manny Fresh. I don't mean like a comparison, but it's like that's your go-to in Wu-Tang for a bit. So when you collaborate with people like DJ Muggs, it's different, but at the same time, it meshed together. Right. And it took me a while. I'm like, yo, Muggs don't sound like a bad producer for GZA. I think this could be like a second option after RZA. Because RZA could be the primary option, especially when you're from the Wu-Tang group. So absolutely. I think him and Muggs, I would not be surprised if maybe next year or so, those two would do another album together. Or GZA comes out with an album all produced by Muggs.
I'd love to hear it, definitely. All right, so GZA, we cap off with you. And
give your flowers, man.
And I do not want to play chess with GZA because I hear he'll run circles around me on that chessboard, man. If I see GZA play in the park, I'm going to run. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I guess I'll play checkers. I don't know if that works.
I mean, what did Denzel teach you? It's chess, not checkers.
Shout out to Denzel. Yeah, that's a Brooklyn native right there.
That's the Brooklyn man right there. So sticking with the theme and sticking with the Juice Crew, we go with one of, this guy, man. All right, because when they talk about the Juice Crew, you hear about your Kanes, you hear about your G-Raps, you hear about your Biz Marquis, you hear about your, God bless MC Shan, Marley Marl, Roxanne, and everybody, Craig G. But, our guy here, the Ace.
Master Ace.
We talk about Master Ace. Man.
What a name.
One of the most distinct, crisp vocals you ever want to hear on a song, man. So why is Master Ace on this list, bro? Why is he underrated?
Man, I think when it comes to Master Ace, it was hard to branch out as like one of the commercial success after G-Rap and Kane. I felt like Kane and G-Rap kept getting all the attention out of the Juice Crew and partially MC Shan as well. But I would have loved to hear more talks about Master Ace. And even though this stayed in Brooklyn as well, on who I'm about to mention, Craig G, another one. He should be mentioned.
Craig does not get enough props, man. And coming from Queens,
Mm-hmm.
seeing that Craig don't get his recognition is sad. But Craig, according to Tragedy Gaddafi, shout out to
Trash.
Craig just do Craig. Craig don't even look for that. Craig
Right.
just do his thing. So shout out to Craig, man.
And it's sad because I remember listening to this whole Take a Look Around album.
That his debut came out in 1990. Talk about Take a Look Around.
Take a Look Around was like in 1990, and I think he and he and Marley Marl just about produced the whole album.
They did.
And
Sure
he has a lot of tracks, and it was mostly just him. That's it. Just mostly just him.
Look at it, man. You got, Letter to the Better. You got
Yes.
me in the Biz. You got The Other Side of Town. You got
I like
4-3.
He had Can't Stop the Bum Rush.
Can't Stop the Bum Rush. And As I Reminisce and Posting High and Maybe Next Time. Like, it's funny because Ace wasn't even supposed to be on the Symphony record. It's the fact that Shan didn't want to do it, and that was Ace's debut, and Ace had that first verse, man, and he set the tone.
Yes.
He set the tone on that record. He went there. He was rapping. So Take a Look Around is a good joint right there. That was a good. Are you familiar with his group, Master Ace Incorporated?
Yes. I remember Master Ace Incorporated. That was actually a good group. That was actually a good group.
It was a good group, and they came out with the first Slaughterhouse.
Yes, not the Joe Buddings and stuff, guys. The first Slaughterhouse.
Know your history, people. 1993. Yes. The name of the album is called Slaughterhouse. Definitely. And then, of course, Sitting on Chrome came out in 95. That beat on Sitting on Chrome, that boom, boom, boom. I was like, that beat was hard.
I'm trying to remember which album had the song Eastbound. I'm trying to remember the track. Eastbound. Down, I'm headed eastbound. Yeah. Get down. That's the hook, the way they was flowing on the hook was crazy.
Took it back with that one, man. That's dope.
That was one of my favorite tracks. It was like oh man.
Fire. After that, you got Disposable Arts that came out in 2001. You got A Long Hot Summer, 2004. You got Son of Yvonne, M.A. Doom, which came out in 2012. And then you got, The Falling Season, which came out in 2016. So, you got solid bodies of work. Are you you want to touch on his later album?
I fucks with the arts and entertainment he did with Ed O.G.
That's a good one. Arts and entertainment with Ed O.G. Yeah. That was dope.
And shout out to Ed O.G. That's I don't know if he's from Boston or I think it was Newberry.
This came out in 2009.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's from Boston.
Yeah, okay, so Ed is from Boston. Shout out to he had another one that don't get enough credit in the hip hop game.
I like that joint with Marco Polo though.
Marco Polo. Is that the Brooklyn Story? Woo!
In 2018?
Yes. You actually put me onto that album because I didn't even know that came out until you told me. I was like, wait, what?
Because I love Marco Polo. Shout out to Marco Polo.
Yes.
When I saw that he collaborated with Ace, I said, what? I had to go get that. And I was like, yo, this is so fire. And when I told you about it, we both was just bumping it.
I had to jump on that joint. I was like, yo, shout out to Polo, man. He did his thing.
Shout out to Polo, man. But Ace being one of the members of Juice Crew, Cold Chillin', and he also battle rapped. You ever seen any of his battle raps? He was actually involved with some battle raps.
Refresh my memory. I think I may have seen one, but it's slipping in my mind right now.
Yeah, Ace kind of stepped in there and he jumped in the ring, for somebody. I'm trying to remember homeboy name. I don't remember homeboy name, but I know that all of a sudden it ended up going on wax. Like they started to diss each other on wax, and I'm like, Ace is on a diss track. Ace is dissing somebody. And then when I did my homework, I realized what was going on, and I'm like, oh, I think it was hieroglyphics. If I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that's the name I ever heard in years. Hieroglyphics.
Yeah, I believe it was. I'd have to look that up and check that out. But there was a battle between you know, between both of those guys, man, and it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, most definitely, man. Ace of Spades, man. That's what
the
we
man,
man. You the king right there. We love you.
yeah, that's the ace. I think there was one song where he took shots at Fat Joe. Was it the top 10 list or some shit like that?
He took shots at Joe?
I don't know, man. The way I'm trying to remember what lines he did, but I had to do some research back in the day, and I felt like I don't know if he was upset with Joe or something. I don't know, man. I felt like look. I ain't trying to spread like fake beefs or anything. My bad, but that's what I thought I was getting at. But don't kill me, Ace. I'm just saying.
No, anybody. Don't kill you, Ace. Don't kill you, Joe. We gonna look that up and check that. Probably come back here and let y'all know.
But if it did happen, at least it's on wax. It's squash, man. It's all good. Shit.
As we continue on, and we're gonna go with another MC, and we gotta go with it. Dun, 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 dun. You can say his name, Kweli. Talk about Talib Kweli, man. Wow.
This shit pisses me off when it comes to this man not being talked about.
All right.
Now, for anyone, your man QG talked about how I'm a sample man, but I'm one of the most biased people when it comes to conscious rap. When it comes to conscious rap, Kweli could have been a professor, and he used to go to NYU.
There you go.
And I think he roomed with John Forte, for what I heard.
Him and John Forte were together in NYU, and
yeah.
I learned that from the People's Party, that podcast, that show they got, which is a great show.
And I'm glad you mentioned the People's Party because first of all, it's a good show. Second of all, we look at Kweli, and I felt like maybe this is a fan's perspective because I'm a fan of Kweli as well.
Love him.
I wish he would have dropped a solo album just around the same year as Mos Def to me. I kind of wanted to hear a solo album from him right then. Now, of course, he got the whole thing with Reflection Eternal. I fucks with that.
That right there, I had to buy it. Reflection Eternal, because I didn't even know nothing about Blackstone. I didn't know nothing about Blackstone.
I remember I used to watch BET videos back in the day. BET played like every different countdown, like whether it was the hit list or Planet Groove. Shout out to Rachel.
Shout out to Rachel. Planet Groove. Yeah.
Rap City. And like it was many others. That's even before the whole Jam Zones and Cedars World came about because I remember seeing that particular countdown when Black Star came out.
Now how you just gonna brush past my girl Cedar?
Look, you know that
world. Cedar was great. Yeah, that's
no. I'm just saying. I don't remember seeing her in '98. I think she came along like in '99 or 2000. But that damn computer chick, man.
I love it.
She was getting on my damn nerves. Say it, baby. Oh God!
Yeah, love it. Bring her back.
No. Nah, but she was entertaining. But the first time I heard, the first funny thing is I didn't even hear Definition first. It was actually Respiration.
Oh, you heard Respiration first?
Yeah. Unfortunately, both Kweli and Mos did their thing, but it was that third verse that just took over. For anyone who don't know, that's common.
And since you mentioned People's Party, I want to shout out my homegirl, Jasmine. I love Jasmine. She's just got that pure energy, man. So Jasmine on the People's Party.
Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Jasmine.
She's awesome. But yeah, man, Kweli, when I heard the blast, I was hooked. When I heard the blast, I said, yo, this is one of the greatest songs I ever heard. I got to get this out.
Tell you what pisses me off about that song.
Go ahead. You got to say it. Go ahead.
Why wasn't the third verse on the damn album?
Yo, I thought something was wrong with the CD.
I thought my CD was messing up too. I
gotta bring this back. I'm waiting for it.
Yo, what the hell?
I'm like, where's
say my name. I'm like, hello, where's the verse?
Him and High Tech. What I love about Kweli is his passion to educate. Every song, he speaks about our beautiful Black history. You know, he loves to remind us of where we came from, especially when he said, rapping with the slaves on the ship, talking about who got the fly chain. I said, oh, man.
But see, here's why he's underrated. Just what you just mentioned, at that time, the hip-hop scene was shifting. Even after Reflection Eternal. Because look where we're shifting now to down south around that time. especially like in the start of 2000. Because look who came out. Like we still had like the Dynasties and the GOAT, aka LL's album around then. But look what else was coming out, and especially after Cash Money came in the scene. Oof, that was tough for everybody afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Like the ATLs, the Ludas, and the Nellies. That's when the commercial success started shifting because that's where the money making was coming. Hey, they did their thing. I can't lie. You know that was their hustle, and I love Back for the First Time, by the way. But when it comes to Kweli, he just like every other conscious rapper that just won't get mentioned a lot because, like I said, the commercial success is heavy and is different year by year.
And he was so good. Like even Jay-Z said it. Lyrically, I'd be Talib Kweli. You know, because Kweli was so good. And then, you know.
Jay, I love Jay Dilly. I love Jay-Z Dilly. He is not Kweli. You will not be lyrical like Kweli. I know it's a reference, but no. I was just being a jerk about that.
Even after Reflection Eternal, Quality is a great album. I love to work with him and Quick. Him and DJ Quick would put it in the air. Quality, what you got? Gorilla Monsoon rap?
Just to get by. Man, when I first saw that song and video, I was like, woo!
Classic Kanye production.
Beautiful Struggle was not a bad album either.
That came out in 2004.
But I fucks with, some people may sleep on that album, Eardrum, but Eardrum was the shit.
Eardrum, sound-wise, it really, really got me going. Like, Deliver Us, I could really get into that song right there, the original one.
I don't know. I love the original Deliver Us, but that part 2 with Sizzla?
You like part 2.
Oh, man.
But Sizzla was a classic. Shout out to
Sizzla Productions. Shout out to Sizzla, man.
You got the rap and reggae vibes, man. So even after that, you had Gutter Rainbows in 2011. You had Prisoner of Conscience.
Prisoner of Conscience was underrated.
That came out in 2013.
Stand by the Side? Woo! Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. And then in
even though I felt like Bilal was the one doing the vocals, but maybe I'm wrong.
Right, Bilal. Yeah, that's another guy who's underrated.
That's another thing when it comes to quality, because they didn't play Get By first. They played Waiting for the DJ.
They played Waiting for the DJ, and then when Get By came out, it started to get... It was so hot, they had to do a remix.
Yep, they did.
He released 2 albums in 2013. After Prisoner of Conscience, he also released... what's that? Gravitas?
Gravitas, yep.
Yeah, Gravitas came out after Money. Came out in 2015. That's a pretty strong title. And then Radio Silence came out in 2017.
But you know what pisses me off? And I want everybody to bear with me when I say this. He's got the Nori syndrome.
And what does that mean?
They don't get talked about until like they make a podcast out of nowhere. Then people forget like, oh shit, we forgot about this guy. Mm-hmm. Nori don't get talked about until he did Drink Champs. Even though we talked about him a lot back in the day before Drink Champs ever existed.
Because we know Nori. We know Nori. Noriega, CNN. We know about NOI.
But it's like, when it comes to Kweli, he's another one. It's like, oh shit, we forgot Kweli even rapped. Until he had the People's Podcast, now we have to resurface him again. And that shit pisses me off. So that's why I said the Nori syndrome.
Right. It's like, you know he did it, but you don't remember he did it.
And the sad part is he put a lot of work in his career.
Kweli is a good rapper. Straight up. Just a good rapper. And when he raps, he makes sense.
And another thing I liked about Eardrum, because I like Quality first, but I like Eardrum second. I put Beautiful Struggle and the others one like afterwards, but Eardrum was like a great album, which a lot of people slept on. I mean, you can't go wrong with Country Cousins with UGK and Raheem Devon on the hook.
That was a good one. Yo, hearing them with UGK, man, Country Cousins, that was fire.
And In the Mood with Kanye West. Kanye made me laugh. I don't know what the hell he was doing. She got a booty like Judy. He got the herb to act booty.
I miss that. I miss that collaboration, that work together, man, with Kweli and Kanye West. They had something special, but we talked about it on the show. So, hey,
yep.
It is what it is, but it's good to see Mos Def and Kweli, work together again and come out with some. You actually purchased this. Can you tell the people about it?
Yes. What was that damn site again? Remind me, because it's been a while since I even been on that website.
I can't even remember the site myself. But what do you remember about the album?
I think it was 9 tracks. It wasn't bad, but I will admit this. There were some songs I felt like Mos Def was a little lazy vocal-wise. I don't know if he sounded like as if he just wanted to come and go. Kweli was just Kweli. But I felt like there were some songs that Mos Def killed it. And then some songs I was a little edgy about his vocal-wise. I felt like he almost had as if like he just wanted to come and go and just like wasn't into it. But it was actually a good album. I still prefer the original, the first one. But
right. Why do you think they released the album like that?
I thought it was to get Mos Def back in the game, just to like, yo, Mos, I know you still got it. I know Kweli would do something. Kweli was always working, but it's like, I think it was because a lot of people were happy to see Mos Def back more than Kweli. That's how I took it. As much as, Black Star is a legendary hip hop duo, it was more of, oh shit, Mos Def is back. Like, we haven't heard Yasin Bey, as y'all call him.
Right,
I don't call him Yasin Bey. I still call him the mighty Mos Def. I can't call him Yasin Bey, man.
I go with Mos, man. I respect his name change to Yasin Bey, but he's still Mos Def.
Mos Def is one of my favorite people. I put him up as my top 5 alive. And by the way, shout out to a former colleague, Sumaya, because she loves that dude too. Me and her go back and forth when it comes to Mos Def. Shout out to Sumaya. I know she's going through some things right now, but personal wise. But if you're listening or you see this video, this is also for you as well.
Oh, but shout out to
Mos Def as well. But Kweli, he needs to get talked about a lot, especially when it comes to conscious rap.
Because that man don't back down from nothing. You see his Instagram and his Twitter, he goes at it with people, bro.
Yes, he does. And he like QG said, he don't back up from no competition, and he damn sure wants to smoke.
I respect that.
But that's Kweli. Kweli's he's intelligent.
Oh man, super intelligent, great guy.
And one of my favorite songs back in the Black Star days was "Knowledge of Self."
Ooh, KOS.
Woo.
Good one right there, man. I just love it, man. The way that they go together. Shout out to Kweli. Love you, Kweli.
Knowledge of self, determination with that word. Knowledge of self, determination.
Yeah, that was fire.
And shout out to Via Mojica, because she was everywhere on them damn records too.
Hell yeah. Hey, God willing, someday, Kweli, we'd love to interview you, man. We'd love to have you on here and talk to you, pick your brain a little bit, man.
Kweli, if you come in the interview, man, I might be silent because I'm like, oh shit, Kweli. I don't know what to even ask you, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You're gonna be starstruck, man.
I might be starstruck if Kweli comes on, man. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, so sticking with the theme, staying with Brooklyn, we're gonna go to our guy, a member of Boot Camp Clique. We talking about our guy, Buckshot Shorty, man. Yo, Buckshot Shorty, love the guy. Why Buckshot Shorty is on the underrated list?
I feel like Boot Camp and Black Moon overall is underrated to me.
Very, very, very.
And he another one that I feel like when it comes to Buckshot, they don't really talk about much because partially competition. But I don't know why Black Moon overall should have got a lot of acknowledgement even after their albums. But Buckshot, he's really talented solo wise.
Absolutely.
And you know the thing is, I felt like when Black Moon and Boot Camp were out, I was actually waiting for an album for Buckshot. I know he released his first album, BDI Thug,
1999.
which is funny because a lot of people don't know why he even called that album BDI Thug.
Can you tell them why?
Well, apparently there was another, God rest his soul, in Tupac Shakur. This is when the time they were supposed to release that One Nation album. He actually gave Buckshot the nickname BDI Thug. What a name. I don't know what the hell he even meant by BDI Thug. But
Pac was a deep cut.
maybe it has to do. Well, I'm going to guess BD is buck down. That's what I'm going to get at. I don't know where the I is at.
BD at the
Buck down international duck. I don't know. Can someone help me out with the hell that damn thing is? But
Buckshot, if you're listening, we'd love to talk to you about that.
What did BDI stand for, man?
That's the nickname Pac gave you, man.
That's the nickname Pac gave him, yes. And this is when Pac was trying to really shut all that shit down where, I can still make records with the East Coast just because it's only one person I got a problem with. I could make a One Nation album just to let y'all know. It ain't really a whole East Coast thing. It's just one person from the East Coast.
It's individuals.
You was just paranoid that people got involved. Well, he thinks people got involved, but nah, man. Buckshot, man. Woo.
Nah, Buckshot deserves his flowers, man. And as we go through it, the album I actually got, the first one that I got of them, was the Chemistry album with Knife Wonder.
You know what? We talked about what's his name just now with Muggs. Matt. No.
Who you talking about? Jizza?
Jizza. There's another one that Buckshot can get down with. Knife Wonder.
I love when they work together.
See, I like different elements, but if those different elements match together, it's crazy.
This is why we're here on Periodic Paragraphs, because him and Knife Wonder, they gave us 3 albums. They gave us the Chemistry, the formula, and the solution that had a concept. They had on the white lab coat with the test tubes and all that.
I thought I was in science class every time I saw their damn albums.
And what I loved about the creativity of all those albums put together as a puzzle. If you take the pictures out from each of them and put them together, it formed one big album.
Yes.
That was genius.
Got chemistry, the formula, and the solution. That's all the elements you need with those 2.
What more could you ask for? And then obviously Survival Skills came out with KRS.
Oh, we forget about that one. Yep. Yeah,
That's why with the verses, you see when KRS brought Buckshot out, they have this chemistry, this bond together.
I need to talk to Buckshot for that one specific part of the verses. What the hell was he doing with King? Or what was he trying to get at King? Because I thought the fight was about to break out.
I got worried.
I got worried, bro. Because I'm like, this is Brooklyn on Brooklyn crowd. I don't like this, man.
Let's tell the people something about body language.
That's exactly
because when Buckshot was getting closer and closer, I saw Kane standing there with his hands like this. That's battle mode right there. Kane is in a position where he's poised and he's waiting because he don't know what Buckshot is about to do. It looked like Kane was going to say, yeah, young boy, you want to get in my face, you better not get too close. That's why
I got worried too.
Because you saw at the end, Shot cleaned it up at the end. We was like, I respect you, you big bro, yada, yada, yada. But it was getting kind of heated up there a little bit.
I don't know, man. But besides his solo albums, maybe it's because a lot of people still look at him as Black Moon.
Those albums were great.
And Enter the Stage,
1993. Come on. That's a game-changing album. That's one of the East Coast Resurgent albums, 1993, Enter the Stage.
I mean, come on, man. You can't go wrong. Who got the props? Come on, man.
You can throw that on today. How many MCs must get this?
I got you open and everything, which is by the way, nice Barry White sample.
You ought to say
what? Yeah, man, that ain't gonna change, man.
No, it's not.
But they had other. Well, Buckshot, people probably gonna think more of Black Moon and even Boot Camp Click, but
because it's legendary groups.
He can go toe to toe on the album. Only sucks that he only released like one critical or commercial type album, but he still has other albums if you want to count solo wise, even though it's with Knife Wonder. I still can count that as solo wise because Knife Wonder don't rap.
Exactly. Because Buck is the rapper, Knife is the producer. So when you have somebody that follows along with that, then yeah, for sure. But Buck,
right,
no doubt about it.
And even with Boot Camp, for the people, Buckshot still held his own.
Oh yeah.
no matter what.
Oh yeah, love them. Those guys are great, man.
Damn, I'm sorry if I bob my head. I got who got the props in my head right now.
Once you hear that, doom, 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 it starts off low and then it goes high. Like, yo, Buckshot, shout out to you, man. You deserve all your flowers, man. And he still sounds so fresh.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, when he gets on the mic, he's still crazy dope. Now we're going back. We're going back. We got a guy here, Brooklyn, by the name of Special Ed, Mr. I Got It Made.
I got it made.
One of the greatest hip hop records ever. I want to shout out my homegirl, Shantae, man. My homegirl Shantae knows the whole words. We used to work together. And I put that joint on in the classroom, and she was rapping that whole thing word for word, yo, like true old school. So why Special Ed is on the cut on this list, man?
Because I feel like, the thing is, he's so good rhyming. He's also got a laid back type style.
Very laid back.
He's very laid back in his style. But it's just like, I feel like Special Ed is that long lost cousin. When he raps, I feel like he's going to tell you a story at a barbecue.
He is one of those.
At or a family function, because the way he raps, I feel like he's going to give me a good story.
He's the guy.
And it's like something that will make you, And it's like, I know what you were saying there, man. Yeah, I remember that. That's exactly how he raps.
Right.
And I love it, man. But here's another one that, I don't know. It's just like after 95, because I remember when he released the Revelations in 95, because we had the Youngest in Charge and what was that other album? Legal. So
Legal, right.
He was another one that was taking a long break.
Yeah, and Youngest in Charge came out in 89, Legal came out in 90, and then Revelations came out in 95. Which
was a good look for him, because at the same time he was another one part of the Crooklyn Dodgers. So a lot of names that we just mentioned were part of that one-time compilation of the Crooklyn Dodgers, because he was on that song with Buckshot and Master Ace.
And look at when he started, bro. He came in the game at 17.
Youngest in Charge. That's why he called it this album.
Came out, it was 1989. He was 17, and he had it made all right. Mm-hmm. That came out on Profile Records. He was with Profile for his first album, his second and third, and then he came with Still Got It Made. In 2004 for Semi Records.
But the thing is, this is coming from me as a fan perspective, because the last time I saw a Special Ed in 95, we all, like, diehard fans, like, where's Special Ed? And then what really excited me was Timbaland. It was Timbaland, Magoo, and Missy. They had that song, Caught That Shit, in 2003.
Right.
Remember who was in Timbaland's part? Rakim. And then you had MC Lyte in Missy's part. So then when the third one came out at the the Church Avenue station, I don't know what that station looks like. That was on the F line, by the way.
Oh, you in this navigation, man. That's what
you already know.
To get used to with this guy, man.
Yep. And when I saw the third person, I was like, who is that? And I was like, Special Ed? He was on Magoo's part. I was like, yo, where he been?
It was good to see him.
It was good to see him, man. Because he another one that was, I love those type of laid-back type styles. Rap your ass off, but you still got that laid-back style. And Special Ed was definitely one of them, man. And Youngest in Charge, he let you know that he wasn't no joke. Because obviously I got it made and all that stuff. But Youngest in Charge, but I'm the Magnificent, that song.
Ooh, the Magnificent. You put that record on today. Lord
yes.
Mercy.
Like I said, man, that guy was no joke. It's just that the layback, I feel like the layback style kind of messed up a lot of people, because look at Guru, he's laid back. And we all love him because he's nice. So what's Special Ed?
He is a laid back dude, and he is nice. You know what I mean? And I think the bars really set its tone, and again, him coming from the golden era, and then transitioning. Because he still sounds dope. You know what I mean?
He was on stage. He was on stage recently. I can't remember where, like a few weeks ago.
He was up there. He
looked good. And he's 50. In good shape.
Exactly.
Still sounding the same, man.
Yep.
Still sounding the same.
Shout out to Special Ed, man. This is for you. This is why we here.
Definitely for flowers, man.
Oh yeah. Now this guy right here. Yo, let me tell you something. I love this dude so much. I mean, I love everybody on this list. But every time I hear this one particular record, I just imitate his vocals. 1993 on Chubb Rock.
Man, Chubb Rock in his house, man.
I love, listen, man. Chubb, this is sad. This is sad.
It really is.
This is sad.
Yo, bro, it really is sad. Because when you listen to Chubb Rock, and I hope people were not getting at him because, number one, he had a great style. But I heard some people the audacity to say like, "Oh, is he trying to be Heavy D?" Hell, fucking no.
This man was not trying to be no Heavy D. Chubb Rock was Chubb Rock.
Just because he was big, just like Heavy at that time, don't mean shit.
And he had Jamaican roots, right?
Yeah, he's Jamaican. Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with trying to be like Heavy. Chubb Rock was Chubb Rock, and his rap style was different than Heavy D. People wasn't paying attention.
He definitely had. I know he was close at that time, recorded with Howie T.
Do you know this man was like? Funny enough, this man was also he's also a scholar, and he dropped out of college to pursue his musical career.
Yeah.
He is an intelligent dude. Came out. You know what I mean? It started in '87, and you mentioned Howie T, who's his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
DJ, producer, like, when he came out with The Winner Is, he was right. The winner is, because...
I got that damn song in my head now. I'm bopping, man.
Come on, man. He had Your Bad Chubbs.
Yo!
Which came out on Yo MTV Raps.
Treat It Right is obviously one of his biggest success ever. And the Sample Man is going to do it again, people.
The Sample Man is going to do it again.
Ooh, that James Brown sample.
Every time I hear that, you just want to start dancing.
Hey, that's James Brown right there, people.
Yo, but here's the thing I love about it. When you listen to the lyrics, yeah, you bopping your head, you're dancing. He said, leave the knives, the guns, and the crack alone. Leave all, he's telling you, he was like, just say no, because the crack era was out. And he was like, put down the guns and have some fun. You know what I mean? He was telling the kids, you don't got to lose your life. You got to enjoy your life.
You know my favorite song, believe it or not, from Chubb Rock?
Which is that?
Bring Him Home Safely.
That's a good one. I like Bring Him Home Safely.
And your old girl, Lady of Rage, was even on that track.
Shout out to the Lady of Rage. Love it. And it's crazy because you've been mentioning the Crooklyn Dodgers all night.
We done mentioned about 6 people in this list for the Crooklyn Dodgers album, man.
Another guy that was there, man. He was there in 1995. He was a member.
He was on that song with Jeru and OC.
And OC. He was there. You know what I'm saying? And
he had the first verse.
What I love about Chubb is not only his rhyme pattern, but his comedy. Because he was also on a song, with MC Search, Back to the Grove. And the way he was like, you are a blab. A blabber. Lyrics on a diet because it gets so fatter. I'm like, I love Chubb, man. Chubb was just so good, man. Like, he was just a fun rapping.
The way he would end his verses on Treat It Right had me dying.
Like all the people, sing it.
Like part of people, sing it.
Exactly. You treat me right.
Like that.
Yo, man, I love it, man. Chubb, hey.
Definitely deserves his flowers, man.
Exactly. And when you go through it, you know me, Chubb Rock with Howie T in 88. 89 was The Winner Is. 1990 was the one.
That's where you had the whole Treat It Right on that album. That's his biggest peak, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. And then in 92, he had I Gotta Get Mine, Yo.
Mm-hmm. I remember he had Yeah, 97. He had The Mind, right?
The Mind that came out in '97.
Yeah.
And people need to understand, guys like Chubb and Heavy D, like especially Chubb being from Brooklyn. You don't think Biggie was watching Chubb on the TV screen learning?
He was.
Who else are you going to get it from? You got to learn. You got to watch with the people that did it before you, so you can study.
I think he also released an album like way later with Wordsmith.
2009.
Okay, that's what I thought. It just dawned on me too, because I'm like, wait, didn't he Wordsmith do something years ago?
Him and Wordsmith got together for Bridging the Gap. That was something different.
Right.
That was something dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But Chubb, every time I think of Chubb, it's just a feel good feeling, man, because he's just so cool and just so energetic and just so fun. You know, he had fun. That's what I love about Chubb, man.
Oh yeah, that was one of the coolest fun artists back then. Anyway, he's great.
Absolutely.
He's lyrical. He another one that will give you knowledge that you got to listen to him clearly to understand his rhymes, because there's some stuff that is going to get you in your head like, oh shit, yo, he right.
Pay attention.
He another one that will teach you some shit in his rhymes.
He's a scholar. He's a scholar, bro. He's a very intelligent dude. So you gotta listen to the song 2 or 3, 4 times to really catch what he's talking about.
I want to know something about that Treat Him Right video, because that dude dancing, was that what I thought it was on the side of his suit?
I gotta look at it again. What are you referring to?
A gat, I guess.
It could be,
because he's dancing. But when you look near his suit, like inside the suit, it's like near the, I don't know, man. I ain't trying.
All you people that's watching this right now, go to the Treat 'Em Right video, like Theo said, and see if you see the dancer in there, and if you got a gat on the side of him, and let us know about that.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I was like bugging. I had to look at it like 5 times. I'm like, yo, am I bugging or something? Like, yo, beat, what's going on?
All right, so last one on the list. You guys been hanging with us. It's been fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, we're gonna get to a guy that you talked about before on the Rap Lab podcast, and I think he underrated, man, because he is so good at storytelling. He's so good at creating. We talking about Skyzoo.
When I look
tell the people about Skyzoo.
When I look at Skyzoo, the first time I heard Skyzoo, Zap was even like around like 2010 or something. It was a song he did with I think it was off a Static Selector album.
Static, that's another guy.
Yeah, Static Selector. It was a song that he collaborated with Kweli and I think Joel Ortiz. I don't remember the track, but that's the first time I remember hearing him. I never got a chance to look at what was his debut? Was it Cloud 6 with Ninth Wonder?
It's Cloud 9.
Cloud 9.
I mean,
Cloud 6.
Close. Yeah.
What the hell was I going at?
Yeah.
Cloud 9.
Ninth Wonder. Yeah,
yes. I did though listen to Salvation first afterwards.
Oh, so you heard the second album before the first one?
Yes, I did. I never got a chance to get to. You know, I laugh at Skyzoo for a reason. Not laughing at him like he's nothing. I always felt like he could have been a lost member of Little Brother.
You know, he could actually fit that group too, Little Brother. You're right.
I don't know, man. Something about that guy that I feel like he could be the third member of Little Brother. Or fourth member, because Ninth Wonder is the third member, even though he's the producer.
Even though he's the producer, he's part of the crew, yeah.
But he looked like he could have been like a third rapping member of Little Brother.
For sure, he could have. Yeah.
But you know what the thing about him is? It's hard to put him in a commercial success. And especially around the 2000s, everything has changed. So for me, he has to go underground. Yeah. That's the only place I could probably fit him in instead of the commercial success. Because this man done dropped too many albums, whether it's solo or collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
I know he had I did listen to that one album, A Dream Deferred.
I love that album.
Yes.
strictly because of the title alone. I mean, for all you,
and that's another thing. When he puts out an album, it's gonna the title alone of the album will be mind blowing. Like, oh shit, a dream deferred.
I mean, come on, man. Like, when you hear something like that, it already takes your mind somewhere else.
I love when he collaborated with Apollo Brown.
Him and Apollo Brown did very, very good. Yes.
Was it the Easy?
Yeah, the Easy Truth.
Easy Truth. Yes.
Came out in 2016. He has a catalog. He has a catalog of albums.
And of course, this was a good one. I actually stumbled this I think 2 years ago of Retropolitan he did with Pete Rock.
Talk about that one.
Yo, Retropolitan, man. I mean, who else? Who else but Pete Rock could do that for Skyzoo, man? Like
who else but Pete Rock?
But he had that album was actually good, in a lot of ways. Oh, he had Styles P on that album, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what? I believe he did have Styles P on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, he had Styles P on that one.
Because Retropolitan came out in 2019.
Yes, he had Carry the Tradition. That's what it was. He had a song, Carry the Tradition.
Yeah, he had Carry the Tradition.
Wait. What's that? I think it was towards the end of the album. He had a song with Griselda.
You talking about the Eastern Conference All-Stars. The Eastern Conference All-Stars. Listen, when you got Benny the Butcher, Conway, Westside Gun, and Elzar.
Elzar.
For a record, man. That's a collab right there, man. That's a hard-hitting record, yo.
Man, that's a posse good of a posse good, man.
Shout out to Griselda. I love him.
And shout out to Elzar, man. Detroit in the house, man. Yeah. Yo, Detroit in the house, man. That's another one who uses flowers, man.
Elzar can rap. Elzar rap.
That's a monster right there. I don't care what anyone says. Elzar's a monster. Right. But Skyzoo, man, it's just sad that he don't get talked about a lot, especially in the conscious rap world. It's a lot of them out there, but it's like a few that will get talked about based on commercial success. And again, I keep repeating that, but it's true. We know about the Commons, we know about the Mos Defs, even though Kweli gets on and off talked about. But Skyzoo, he another one. Mm-hmm. And it's real sad that he's really worked so hard in the 2000s leading up to now. And it's just that if you want to listen to conscious rap, you have to go like the independent or the underground world for it.
Yeah, that's the sad part. You know what I mean?
Because again, like this is pertaining to certain people on this list that deals with the conscious rap style. You know, when things change in the music industry, you're not going to hear that much anymore. And I hate to be the bad news, but some people don't want to hear the conscious rap or the political statements. All they want to hear is the club bangers and all that stuff. So
yeah, Skyzoo had me when he started talking about the Huxtables, Brownstone, and Brooklyn, and just that lifestyle of education. And like Skyzoo's mind goes beyond the music.
And he another one that's
what I love about it.
I think he was the one that released that album recently. Was it him that released that album? That has a picture of like the gentrification of the buildings.
You talking about All the Brilliant Things?
Yeah, All the Brilliant Things with
that came out last year.
Yeah. And that's the corner, people. That's a real life photo of the corner of Fulton Street and Franklin Avenue.
All y'all people that live out on the corner of Fulton and Franklin, that's you.
Yeah, the Popeyes on that corner too, probably.
Hey, well, when it comes to chicken, who would know better than that, man?
I'm more of a KFC person than Popeyes, unfortunately. So
you KFC fan, all right?
Yeah, man.
No,
but
this
yeah,
list
guys,
was powerful, bro.
Yeah, this list was powerful, and it's like we all got the known facts of the Jays and the Pocs and the Bigs, and I'm not even just talking about Brooklyn, so that's why I'm naming Pac in this, even though he's from New York City himself. But there's a lot of regions where a lot of people get underlooked. And, you know, Brooklyn, we're going to start with that because Queens got a lot of underrated artists too. You can say something about Manhattan, but Manhattan, you don't really have much unless it's the Curtis Blows or
Harlem. You know,
even Camerons and the Masons and the Big L's. So it's not much to talk about out there. The Bronx, you could definitely probably say some people from the Bronx.
Definitely. You could definitely talk about New York. You can talk about all these different regions, but there's just something special about Brooklyn. And I think it goes to your point. Brooklyn, there's so many crops of MCs that come out of Brooklyn. That's what makes it more competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of elements. It's a lot of different elements of MCs out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, you from Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn, he's from Brooklyn, he's from Brooklyn. We rep Brooklyn, but where we all have these different parts of Brooklyn that we represent. It's the same thing with Queens. And it's not really a issue as far as, well, you from Bed-Stuy and I'm from Brownsville, we can't get along. That's not true at all. I think it's because there's so many people that you can look at that come from Brooklyn.
And there's some honorable mentions I'm gonna put out there. MOP, they one of them. Little Fame, and
Mash out Posse, shout out to Fame, and
that's Brownsville all the way. That's a Brownsville.
Fame and Dames, man. Them guys is just monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they monsters for real. And but Brooklyn is one of the staples. You're proud to be from Brooklyn. You're from Brooklyn, so you know all about it. And
born and raised,
Brooklyn.
Now I'm in NC, but at the same time, I rep Brooklyn anywhere I go. That's my hometown. I'm never going to forget it because it's going to stay with me until the day I die.
And we are wrapping up this pilot episode of Periodic Paragraphs. So before we wrap it up, please let them know where they can find all your great work on social media, please.
You can find me on, my personal info, BK City Legend 89. That's my Instagram. Also, as well, for those who be seeing the stories of the samples, just know that's me. That's on the Rap Lab Pod Instagram. I do the samples. Again, it's for appreciation for every other genres or artists that came before hip hop and even during hip hop. Because even when hip hop was going, there were some songs that were recorded then, and then there's some, that would get sampled right off the bat, even during and before hip hop. But when it comes to samples, I appreciate it. And me personally, I got to thank my mom because she kind of put me on of listening to certain music of what they grew up listening to on the former 98.7 Kiss FM. So I missed that channel. So yeah, that's where y'all can find me. And then again, for anyone who's wondering where I've been, there's just been a lot been going on, especially work-wise. So I'm doing stuff on my end, but I'm still keeping in touch with the brothers and with the podcast, helping with them no matter what.
He's still here, people.
Yep.
He's still here, people.
So for everyone who was knowing the dealio,
he's still here, man.
I still knowing the dealio about me.
Exactly.
I'm still here. Not going anywhere.
And you can find all our stuff, all the Rap Lab podcast episodes on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, RSS, YouTube channel. You can look at all of that. Hit that like, hit that share, subscribe. And we'll be back with another one. So, signing off. This is Doctor. This is QG. And this is
Boy T.O. I know the dealio. Peace.